This video is about combining like terms, and I want to show you some simple ones and then we'll get into some more complicated ones. So if you see a simple one, really you're just doing what it tells you to do. You can look at your numbers and see that it's going to be 2 minus 3, which is going to be a negative 1, and then you keep that variable with it. So really it's going to just be a negative x on something like that. Notice that you're doing what your numbers tell you to do. 2 minus 3. Over here it would be 9 plus 5. Well, 9 plus 5 is equal to 14, and I have 14 x's. So you just don't want to lose that variable. I'm going to show you guys with some color coding down here. This first one, you'll notice it says 4x plus 4y to the third minus 5 plus 6 minus 2y to the third minus 5y to the third plus 5x. And I have it color coded so that you guys can see the different terms. X's go with x's, y's go with y's, and remember, you have to have the same variable, same letter, and same exponent. So x's can go with x's, but x's cannot go with x squareds. They aren't the same thing. So it has to be the same letter and the same exponent. For this first one, my greens, you'll notice it says 4x. Now I'm going to pull this guy over here and put plus 5x. So right now I'm just going to rearrange it so all of my colors are close to each other. They're next to each other so that I can figure this out. I'm going to drop my purples down even though they're already next to each other. I'm going to bring this blue one over here closer to these ones. These are my other y cubed. So then I have a plus. Please notice, please notice I am including the sign in front of it with the term because that sign tells me the value of them. So it tells me if I am going to add or subtract them. It also tells me if they are positive or negative. So because this blue looks like it's dying, I'm going to do this first. So really the numbers in front of this y to the third, I have a 4 minus 2 minus 5. 4 minus 2 is 2, minus 5 more is going to be a negative 3. If you type this into your calculator, it will give you what you need. Now, the part that you need to remember is keep that variable along with it. We haven't changed it in any way. It's still y to the third, and that cubed is only going to that y. And yes, you can say it either way, y to the third or y cubed. Now, after I have all of my y to the thirds combined, this will be in my answer. So now let's do these purple ones. Negative 5 plus 6, I have one more positive one with no variables. These are just like numbers that we've worked with our entire lives. So that's also going to be in my answer. And then 4, this is really 4x plus 5. And so this one is 9x. So I'll have these three terms in my answer. It will look like 9x plus 1 minus 3y to the third. And that is as far as I can go. I don't have any other like terms to combine. Now, the second one, sorry, I tried to do yellow, but it didn't really work out, so stay with me, I guess. Maybe I'll switch it to purple. Okay, so as far as this one goes, I have a 2 plus 2 plus 7y to the third minus 6y to the third plus 1 minus y to the third plus y. Please notice that my y, my yellow y that didn't really work out, cannot be combined with my y to the third. They are different. They have to have the same exponent and the same letter. They do have the same letter, but because this doesn't have that third, I cannot combine it. So let's start with my oranges. my oranges would be 2 plus 2 plus 1, pulling them all together. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. This term, a positive 5, is going to be in my final answer. Now, as far as my y to the thirds, I have a positive 7, so 7y to the third minus 6y to the third minus y to the third. Well, this is 7 minus 6 minus 1. Remember, there's that 1 there. So this actually becomes 0y to the third. Well, 0 times anything is going to equal 0. So we actually won't write that in our final answer. It will just totally be gone. Don't think that you have 1, because 1 would look like this. You had 0 of them. So that's not going to be in our final answer. And then we have this, which I'm changing. We have this plus y, and because it doesn't combine with anything else, that's okay. It'll still need to be in our final answer. So I can have a 5, oops, I'll keep it color-coded. I will have my 5 plus y, like that, and I know that my 5 is a positive because there isn't a sign up here, or I can even have it y plus 5, and I know that my y is positive if I switch it around because there is no sign in right here. I could, up here on this other one, I could actually have it start with a negative 3y to the third and then go plus 9x and then plus 1 if I wanted. The reason why I can do that is because I'm not changing the value of each of those terms. I am just manipulating the way that they look. So it's totally okay. I can switch the order of them as long as I do not change that value of them. So that's important to note. I have a couple more that I want to show you. I'm not going to color code them because you guys won't have a bunch of colors. So let's do negative 3xy minus 3y minus 3y. Now, x, y's. If those are our variables, we can only combine them with other x, y's. In this case, we don't have any. So because this guy can't combine with anything else, he will be in our answer. Now right here, you can see that we have a y and a y. We can combine those by doing what it tells us to with the numbers in front. So negative 3 minus 3 gives me a negative 6. And because my variable is y, it will stay y. And this is my answer for that one. I have one more that I want to show you. This one has to do with distributing. So negative 2x minus 6 parenthesis negative 2y plus 2x plus 5y out of the parenthesis. We worked with distributing, and so this is just kind of putting the two of them together. We're going to have to distribute, and then we're going to have to combine our like terms. So order of operations says we have to get rid of these parentheses first. The way we do that is by taking the value that's out in front and distributing it through. This value is a negative 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. 6 times 2 is 12. Keep your variable. All right. A negative times a positive is a negative. 6 times 2 is 12. Keep your variable. Now, we have just dealt with all of this. So this is actually this value. We still need to bring down our negative 2x, and we still need to deal with a plus 5y. Now, in my answer, I will have negative 2x minus 12x. So that gives me a total of negative 14x. And I've just dealt with them. Some people like to box around them. I think that that's a good way to do it because it shows that you've combined the boxes. And then I also like to circle my other ones and then triangles and whatever else. So my boxes have worked out to be a negative 14x, and my circles, because they're both y, will be a positive 12y plus 5. Well, I know 12 plus 5 is a positive 17y. Keep that variable. So hopefully you understand the progression of combining like terms. if you have questions.